Hey, what is happening, y'all? Welcome. We got something special tonight, y'all. We have the man, the book boss, Jeremy Sutton, answering a question which I posed to him earlier, literally right before we got on the live stream. I said, Jeremy, sell me on why I need a book for my coaching business or my course business. And if somebody runs a clinic, why do they need a book? And so we started talking about, hey, how do you use a book? How do you leverage a book within like creative ways to get your message out more and like marketing stuff? And so we started talking about it. And then Jeremy's like, wait a minute, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to reveal it on the live stream. I was like, dang you, man, dang you. And so Jeremy has come on to graciously teach us about interesting ways, fascinating ways to leverage your book as a marketing tool for your practice or for a online course or online coaching business. And yeah, okay, wait a minute. Can I just introduce you, man? Maybe before we actually get into this. Okay.
Wouldn't hurt.
Y'all know that about 2.5 years ago, a man by the name of Jeremy Sutton sends me a message and says, Alex, I need some help with this podcast art. And I was like, cool, here you go. And I fixed some podcast art for him. And wouldn't you know it, that man has never, ever let me forget that, and always talks about how kind and gracious I've been to him, because I gave him podcast artwork one time. But then I also happened to infect your computer, probably at that point with the podcast artwork.
That was later. You infected my computer with some sketchy Google Chrome app.
But Jeremy Sutton is the book boss. He helps online business owners and healthcare providers create masterpieces of a book, write the book, and then self-publish it so that they can be authorities in their space. Hey, have you ever used that word, authorities?
I actually created a book that says authority.
Okay.
I just haven't ordered it.
See, I'm not very creative. Anyway, Jeremy's doing a massive training tomorrow on how to actually get the book written and self-publish it. And if you want access to that tomorrow, I want you to just put fry sauce below. Tomorrow being Friday, whatever it is, March 27th.
27th.
Yeah. What time is it, man?
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern.
Salt Lake City in Idaho. I don't know, boys. Where were we in Idaho? Yeah, we're in
no,
Idaho.
No. We were, yeah, but we were on the border of Utah. Okay, it's a Utah delicacy. It was invented here. Okay,
it was invented in Utah by Baptists. So, no. So anyway, Alex and I went to Offermind last year. I don't know how I afforded it because I was broke, but I do know how I afforded it because Alex gave me an awesome deal and he paid for my hotel room. Thank you, brother, once again for being amazing. So we go, Alex has a car that he doesn't take care of. So we have a blowout. I have to change my tire. And then we stop and get burgers at, I don't even remember.
It's an A&W. How could you forget?
A&W. Yeah, they don't have them here anymore. So he told me I get to have fry sauce. And I was like, oh, I'm really excited. And he says, there's a special, ingredient, you have to guess it. And so I never did guess the ingredient. I think it was turpentine, but anyway, it's pickle juice or something.
Yeah.
And so Alex was bummed out because I did not like the fry sauce, so I am sorry.
Oh man, we've had so many good adventures. And then you got to stay over at my house the next day. Jeremy and I are tight. He's the very first person who I let babysit my kids that was not family. So I love this man. And he's also making a huge difference for people. There's so many people now that believe in themselves enough to write a book. If you have thought about writing a book, if you've seriously considered it, just put book below. And I will be honest with you, for a really long time, I thought that a book was, I'm sorry, Jeremy. I thought that a book was kind of a waste of time in terms of like a marketing and a business building sense. And then I started seeing people who were writing them. And then I saw how I reacted when somebody else that I admired wrote a book, and it was like, oh my goodness, like it instantly took their stock up in my mind, and I didn't realize what it was doing to me. And so now I want to write a book, and we're in the process of it. It's outlined, and someday soon I'll write it, and I'm going to have Jeremy actually help me do it. But let's talk about these secret ways that you've figured out to like maybe they're not secret, I know, but they are to you because I don't know them. How do we use a book, man, to market our courses or our practice? Take it away.
Well, the first thing you do is if you have a book, and this is Brianne Showman's book, one of our best friends. I'm sure you have it right there too, because you're cool like that. I'll let you find it. Dear
Brianne,
customer.
don't watch this.
Yeah. Brianne, just remember.
Nobody tag
has
Oh,
your
just
book.
kidding. I've got it right
Oh, look, there it is.
here.
All right. So cool. So look, you and I both have this book. Isn't that amazing? Like, and guess what? It has her picture on the back of it,
It's
like,
true.
but I'll tell you what, if Brianne would have given us a business card, I bet you wouldn't have it. And I know I wouldn't have it because the only business card I have is a PTA that I work with who makes amazing cupcakes. And that's why I have her business card, because I like to eat cupcakes. So one, and this is not something I even planned on talking about. It's an amazing business card. It's an amazing authority builder, because I don't know about you, Alex. I have never thrown a book away. I've never burned a book. I've never.
It's a really good book.
I've never thrown a book away. I have all these books in my house I've never written. Behind my laptop right now is about 100 books that my kids have that we have to read sometimes, that are amazing. But that's one thing about it is we have these books, and you know what? Somebody said one time, well, it's really easy to make a book a #1 bestseller on Amazon. And I said, okay, we'll go do it, because the crappy book I have is better than the book that you don't have. So, I'm just kind of blunt like that. But let's talk about one of the first ways you can. We said 5 steps or 5 ways to use your book to leverage marketing. But the front end lead magnet is one of the easiest things to do. And we see people doing this every day. We see Russell Brunson doing this. We see Ryan Levesque doing
big time
this
right now.
See John Lee Dumas doing this. And so, yeah, Russell Brunson, like everybody in my email list that I'm on email list has sent me Russell Brunson's Traffic Secrets plus $23,000 worth of free stuff. And I bought it from Josh Forty because I love him. And he sent me the email first. So there you go. I got Josh Forty stuff. So, but you and I have talked about this before. Russell Brunson's selling these books for, I think it was $7.95 or $8.95, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think the most expensive one I've ever bought was $11.95, free plus shipping and handling, and which is pretty good because they're probably making about $8 off this free plus shipping and handling. But we're taking this book that people are going to want, especially if we have an audience that we've been serving, like you and Will have, like Russell Brunson, like Josh Forty, or any of these people, and you take that book and you sell it for free plus shipping and handling, and maybe you make $1 or $2 on it. Well, now instead of paying $1 to $5 for a lead, you made $2 for every lead. So that's pretty cool. I got somebody's name, address, and email address, and they paid me $2. So that's pretty good. Now I'm in the black already. I didn't pay anything to do that because it didn't cost you anything to print it, depending on, because even if you have it on Amazon, it's not going to cost you anything to print when somebody buys it. And you can set it up on, one of the easiest things to do is you can set it up on Lulu Books. If you have a Shopify account, you can actually get an app through Lulu Books, and you can sell it on your Shopify account. I mean, it's that simple. And it's literally $9 a month to have a Shopify account if you have a website already, which probably the majority of people in this group do. So that's the first thing. That's the easiest thing. And we know that people are doing this. So if Russell Brunson's doing it, it's working. If John Lee Dumas is doing it, Ryan Levesque, what's the other guy you love? Pat Flynn. I love Pat Flynn's stuff. I'm going to get on Pat Flynn's book writing coach pretty soon. And I'm going to interview him for a podcast. I'm just going to do it. He's going to say yes. I already know he's going to say yes.
Yeah. So Pat and I are super tight. So I'll just send him
Yeah, man, I know. We're just going to all be on a private jet one day. Years and wheels. So seriously, if these guys are doing it and they're winning, then why shouldn't we be doing that? Like, I'm like you. I used to not want to write a book, and I used to not want to write one for my business. I always kind of wanted to write a creative one, but then I started seeing how this can build authority. And I think I really saw it the most with Paul Goff, who we've both seen and heard so many times. And he's got all these books, and it hit me a few weeks ago. He had a live event, and he has this, leather chairs on stage, and they have a round table, and on the round table were all 3 to 4 of his books sitting there. And I said to myself, if those books weren't important, they wouldn't be sitting on that table. Because he's a freaking genius at business and marketing.
Yeah.
So if he thinks it's smart enough to have these books up here, then yeah, it's probably helped some of the rest of us. So anyway, that's the first thing. And to me, that's a no-brainer. Do that.
Yeah.
The second thing is you can take these books that you're going to write. Brienne could take this book. I think she has 15 chapters in it. Let me just say she has 14. I was almost there. So Brienne has 14 chapters. She could turn that into a 14 module course and sell that tomorrow. So this book, I think she sells for $14.95, $11.95. I'm not sure, but she could take that, turn it into a course, sell it for $47.95 and beyond.
Yeah.
My first course was $14.90 or $47, and we've gone way up since then. So you take that and you create a course, and so now you have a really cheap lead magnet to get people into your world. Free plus shipping and handling, or selling it on your website, or whatever you want to do. And now, as Russell Brunson, I hate buying anything from Russell Brunson because I know there's going to be 17 upsells and 14 downsells or whatever. But I always buy stuff from him. Like I've bought so much stuff from Russell Brunson. But like, why can't we do the same thing? Why can't we have, hey, here, you bought my $7 book, but have this course. It's really $95, but we're going to sell it for 47 or whatever you want to do. And then now, what if 10 people buy your book and 3 of them buy the upsell? Well, then now you've made an extra $150 and you've gotten 10 leads.
Yeah.
Now you're really in the black. So,
totally.
And so that's the second thing is you can turn it into a course, and you can create courses out of it. You've already done the material. My first book actually went from course to book, so it's easy to go back from book to course. And then something that I found out this week or last week that I wasn't even planning on doing is a friend of ours, Karen Malone, reached out to me. She's a PT in Minnesota. She works with stroke patients. And I want to talk about this a little bit more later. Karen made $3,000 off of her book, off of one person, which I thought was pretty cool. But the other thing she did was she reached out to me and she says, hey, Jeremy, I know a lot of people that have had strokes that really want to share their story. So I mean, if you have a story to share and you think you have a story to share, just comment story right now while Alex and I are talking. We would love to see it. I know you have a story to share, so just comment story if you can. But the thing is now we have a course that spun off of my course, and now we have some students that have had strokes, and we had our first live call this week. So not only can you create one course off of your book, well, then you can make 2 or 3 more mini courses off of it.
Totally.
And so now you have maybe a signature course for, let's say we have a signature course for $9.97, and then we have 3 more mini courses for $197 or $47 or whatever. Who cares? Whatever you want to do. So,
so number 1 was the free plus shipping, right?
Yeah.
And having front end. Cool. Number 2 is course or mini course.
Yeah. Course, mini course. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I love courses.
Yeah, dude, I tell you what, I just realized this week, Alex, that I've created 4 online courses in the last 3 months. Book Boss University, Stroke Survivor Series with Karen, 7-day ebook course, and how to create an online course for free. I've created 4 courses. Yeah, all that's from you and Will.
Yes, awesome. Dude, applause for Jeremy for cranking out the stuff, man.
Yeah, now
Book Boss is on fire.
That's right. Don't get the fire too close. We don't want to burn the books. Guys, listen, number 3 is journals and workbooks. How many books have you bought? And then later they're like, oh, would you like to get my journal? Would you like to get my workbook? You can really get all this information. You got one? I'm
going to be right back. You keep going. I have something to show you, but I have to go in the other room. You keep going. I can hear you. You keep going.
I got you. Go ahead.
Keep leading the people. I'll be right back because this is important.
Sweet. I have now taken over healthcare digital marketing. It is my group. Just want to let you guys know we're going to change it to Book Boss Tribe 2 next week. Okay, so listen, journals and workbooks. How many books have you bought? How many study courses have you bought? And they say, oh, by the way, for an extra $4.95, you can get our journal for this book. So we, with the book I wrote with another client, I said, you know what? Here's your book. Here's your journal. So we created another journal that quickly. I mean, I have a template that we can just do. There you go. Whose is that? Oh, look at that. You matter to me.
So
who wrote that, Alex?
So this is by the amazing Corey Rankin.
Yes.
And if y'all know Corey and JoJo, this is literally a journal to do with your kids that they brought to me and gave to me as a gift. They gave me 2 of them because I got 2 daughters. This one is Abby's. And so every night we sit down and we write why they matter to us. It's like a little nightly journal, and there's a place for the parent and for the child. And every night we're having this little bonding moment. Abby won't go to bed now without me filling out the journal, so I have to do it. But she loves it. It's like, this is so simple, but really, really cool. Like, adds very meaningfully to my life because somebody decided to format it. And I know that it was a format that you helped them to create. It's like, that was so simple, and they cranked that thing out fast.
Yeah. And they've done 3 of those. They have another one coming out tomorrow, I think is what Corey told me today. So, guys, that was super easy to create. We just did a table in a book, and then you take out the sides of the table, and it's that way you don't have to like hit space, shift space 5,000 times, like what I was doing. And I'll be honest with you, my co-author Mark Green that wrote Neck Pain Solutions with me, he's the one that showed me how to do that, because he's written 18 books in 3 months. Yeah. Wow. So dude's amazing, freaking genius. But anyway, it was super easy for Corey and JoJo to make that journal. And we have one in our bathroom that's the husband and wife gratitude journal. And Monica and I write it in it every day, 5 things we're thankful for, and then encouragement.
Dude, I have like at least 3 workbooks that I need to make. One of them's like already made, and we got to just format it and put it into like something that people can buy. Can you help me make some workbooks? Like,
just send it to me and I'll have it done tomorrow.
Can I get it? They need to be like spiral bound though, so that they can open. Like, is that doable?
It's not doable on Amazon, but it is doable on other places. So,
because I will totally do that. I'm just thinking of all the courses. Like, I have literally right now, I have these pages that I'm creating, and I'm printing them off, and I'm telling people to print them off. And I'm like, why can't I just make this a workbook or something? Like, that's exactly what Russell Brunson. See, like, I've got these like pages and pages. It's like, I just need to workbookize that. Can you help me with that for reals?
For reals. Just send it to me, brother. You know I'll do it for you.
Okay. Well, no. Like, I will pay you to do it for me. I'm not.
I was gonna let you pay me.
Okay, good. I didn't want you sitting here like just giving charity to the whole world. Okay, you do enough of that. By the way, wait a minute. We're like 25 minutes into this, and we have so many awesome people on. I just want to give some shout outs to those who are on. Danette, thank you for coming on. Deb, thanks for coming on. Jeremy, Will Boyd, the man, Travis, Charlie, Carissa, Valerie, Stephanie, Amy, Stacy, Shaheen, Chris, Ted, Meg, y'all. Ashley is on here. We got a crew on here tonight, man.
Sweet. Hey guys, thank y'all so much for watching and listening to me talk about books.
Dude, we're talking about growing business. We're not just talking about books. It's like, what do we do to grow this business? Okay, so free plus shipping was number 1 as like a front end lead magnet. Course was number 2. Journals was number 3. What's number 4?
Number 4 is podcast episodes. So this one's twofold. Okay. So a podcast episode. So you write this book. So Brianne wrote this book. It's 15 chapters. Okay.
Yeah.
So we take Brianne's book, and her book is about owning your day, owning your life. And so let's say chapter 1 is overworked. Well, that's a podcast episode that you and I could write and record for probably 4 hours without stopping. Talking. I mean, we talked about it before we even got here. Chapter number 2 is finding strategies, learning acceptance, boss first employee, know your focus, organize your day, creating your schedule, tips and tricks. Like, that's a 15 episode book right there. So that's the first part of it. Your book is a podcast. So you just say, okay, I want to start a podcast, and I really want it. So one of the things that I found was a problem with my podcast, the Servant PT podcast, is I think I got to 130 or 40 episodes before it stopped making sense to me to continue doing it. But it got to where it was a lot of trouble, not trouble, but it was hard to keep up with it because I was running a business, and I was a dad and a husband and serving in church and things like that, coaching soccer and football with kids. And so sometimes I wouldn't get them out consistently. But if I have a book that I've already spent hours writing and have 15 chapters, well, I'm not going to read each chapter because that's boring. I don't want to listen to anybody read into a microphone on a podcast, but I can summarize that podcast or that chapter, and I can turn that into a podcast, and I can expand on each point in the chapter. And so if you want to start a podcast and you want your brand to grow, and we want our brand to look the same everywhere, well, what better way than to, start with your business, turn it into a book, turn it into a podcast, turn it into a course. Everything has my Book Boss University or Book Boss Tribe or whatever on it. It is what I'm doing. And so, Brienne could do the same thing. And then she starts to build off of that. She gets 15 podcasts in. Let's say we do one a week. We're 15 weeks in. Well, that gives you plenty of time to record more episodes. Right. And now you can stay consistent, because we know one of the best things Greg Todd ever told me, Alex, is when you stop being consistent, people think you stopped showing up and stopped doing videos. And I'll tell you an example of that was today. I did the first live video that I've done in a long time on my personal page. I do a ton in my group, but I haven't done one in a long time. I used to do them every morning at 7:50 because I would get to work then. I would run in at 8 start. But anyway, I'd have people on it, hearts, likes, commenting all throughout the day. Today I did one, 3 people saw it, 4 people liked it. It's like nothing, because I haven't done it in so long. People think I just quit. Right. And so, if you want to be consistent, you don't want people to think you quit. Well, here you go. Here's 15 episodes. Here's consistency. And that's 15 weeks if you're going to do one a week.
Also, can we just talk about the fact that you having something to celebrate, meaning having a book or a book launch especially, is the easiest reason in the world to get invited onto other people's podcasts, or to, like, if you're like, I don't know if I'm a huge fan of having a reason to celebrate something. Yeah. And so whether it's a book launch or it's a 6 month after the book release, or it's a year after the book release, it's like, I'm celebrating a year of my book. Blankety blank, blank, blank. I would love to come on your show and talk about this thing. Like, how easy does it make it to, as a talking point, to go on other people's shows and have a reason to be celebrating something, versus like, hey, I'd like to be on your show. It's like, hey, I'm releasing a book. I would love to come tell your readers or tell your listeners about it. Like, it's just such an easy reason to celebrate.
Absolutely. And it was before I ever started this whole Book Boss University thing, it was like people knew I was starting this. And I remember I was on a podcast with Emma Shapiro, and this is all we talked about, was like me creating a book and how it increased authority and how my patients loved it. And, they were like, oh my gosh, this is really your book, and things like that. And that book was not that good. It was my first book. I didn't even have the last digit of my phone number in the book. So, like, you could call me if you could figure out what the last number of the book was.
You have to try 10 people, and after one of them, you finally get Jeremy.
That's right. That's right. And it was 0, so they're probably gonna try that last. So anyway, and you took the second part of the podcasting thing, like, what better way to get on a podcast than with your book? And so this is what I did yesterday. And this is part of my course that we've added in this time that we've never done before, is when my students get their books completed, I'm going to get them booked on 5 podcasts in their genre. And we're not going to just get 5 people that I know, because you and I know enough people now that have podcasts we can probably find, but I'm talking about, like, going after the big ones. And so we had, this student is, she's women's health. And so I went to a list. It was the top 20 women's health podcasts in 2019. Yeah. And we've got 10 of them that we've messaged. Okay. Well, 12. We had 2 people that we knew really well that are women's health. So we got on those, no problem. But that's already 2. So this student's in Philadelphia. One podcast is in Florida, and the other one's in Washington State. So now we've already almost triangled the whole country, and the rest are all over the country. So, I mean, we're growing her brand. We're getting somebody else's audience to see her. Yeah. And it's easy. Like, what you do is you take your book. This is going to be in the webinar tomorrow night, guys, but I'm just going to share this part with you because I think this is really cool. And this is from a book you told me to get, Being Famous, or Creating Fame. I'm sure you've got it right there hidden somewhere. You know what I'm talking about.
No, so I have no I've got it. Is this the TV one?
It's Jerry Hansen, Jim Hansen, Bob Hansen, something. Yeah, the TV one.
Yeah, the TV one. Yeah.
Hansen, Jeff Hansen. So anyway, it's a really good book. I read it to my kids to put them to sleep Monday night, and I think they're going to be entrepreneurs on TV now. So, but guys, listen, you take your book. So I teach my students to turn their books into courses, or to put a lead magnet inside the book and say, hey, if you don't understand this, I have videos on everything in my book. Go to this website. So Kristen Fleming, my student, who's an amazing PT in Philadelphia, she actually has her own TV show online. She was just on the news there a couple of weeks ago. None of my help, but she did it on her own. But now we have those two things to send to television shows, to podcasts, so they can see what she does, because she has her own TV show already, actually,
Right.
which is really cool. But now I said, hey, we're going to create a website, your website / mom gift or whatever, because it's women's health. And you're going to put every video link there that you've ever done for your book.
Right.
You're going to put one chapter completely free of your book. You're going to put every other freebie you've ever created right there. And you're going to call these people and you're going to say, Alex, I really want to be on your podcast. And even if you don't want me to be on your podcast, I've already created a link for everybody in your audience to go and get massive value. So, we know, I've learned from you and Will, let's compliment somebody. Let's tell them that we love what they're doing. And then let's try to see if we can, serve their audience, and then see if we can get on their show or whatever we're doing, try to get in their audience. And if they say, no, that's who cares? We've already given them value. So we're still going to get people from them, you know? So that's the second part of the podcast thing is give massive value and use your book to get on podcasts.
Oh, that's so good.
It doesn't matter what your book's about. You can write it on big toe pain and you can still serve their audience, because everybody stumped their big toe.
Everybody done stubbed that toe. Oh my goodness. Okay. So was that our 5, or we still have 4?
That was number 4.
That was 4. Okay.
Number five, radio. Okay. Radio locally. So here we are in Louisiana. We're in the Bible Belt of the world. Okay. There's about 5 billion Christian radio stations within 3 miles of my house. I was just being honest. There's at least 10 Christian radio stations in our town that we live in. Yeah. And one of my books is a devotional for healthcare providers. Okay. Huh. So I can take that book. I also have a Proverbs journal that I just need to print, and upload. I just haven't done it. And I can take those books and I can say, hey, especially right now, we're not trying to profit on coronavirus. And that's not what I'm saying. And you know that. And I know you preach that too. But who needs prayer and help right now in our world? Healthcare providers. I could very easily call each radio show tomorrow if I had that book here, which I have it online, and I could say, hey, I've got this book. I'd love to come talk about it on your radio show, and I'd love to give this a digital copy to everybody that wants it. I might actually do that. That
would be really cool. That's a great way to serve people. My goodness.
But it's a cool way to serve. Absolutely. Yeah. So, why wouldn't they want to talk to you? They need to fill spots. They need to fill spots. Yeah. So
and with unique things, which that's very unique. Yeah, especially if you're giving something away like that, man. How cool. I 100%, whether it's tomorrow or next week, man, you should do that. That'd be really, really cool.
Matter of fact, I'll post that on my Facebook profile later, maybe tomorrow, and people can just download that. I think I actually already have it on Google. I'll just give it away to everybody tomorrow. So anyway, so that's another thing you can do. So radio locally, like we're not trying to get on, I don't know what any radio shows are because I don't ever listen to the radio anymore, but we're not trying to get on the best shows. Okay. We're not trying to get on Regis and Kelly. We're just trying to get on, Rock 103 down the road, or, We Love Jesus 99.5 down the road. They're just people like me. They work in your town. They shop in your town. They go to Walmart or Brookshire's or whatever you have, just like you. So take what you have and serve them. So that's number 5. Okay. Yes. But Alex titled this 5 massive, whatever he titled it, but I like the number 7. So I got 2 more.
It's over delivering.
I got 2 more. Okay. So, and I think I like the last one the very much. So we talked about caramel.
Way to open a loop. Okay.
But the last one's my favorite. So hang on to the last one. Hang on. We're almost done, guys. I'm ready to go eat ice cream and sit on the couch.
So let's hear 6 and 7.
Let's hear 6 and 7. So number 6 is wellness programs. Okay. And so what I'm talking about with wellness programs is I'm a physical therapist. Alex is a physical therapist. He treats 50 people a day. I treat 3 a day now with coronavirus. But anyway, so listen, Carrie Malone, and I've told this story on everything. I'm going to tell this story again tomorrow night because it's such an amazing story. It's powerful. She wrote her book, and these books cost $2.50 to print on Amazon. Okay. We're not, I printed 100 of them and gave away to every one of my patients when I first printed my book. It cost me $237 to ship it to my house for 100 books. It was the greatest marketing tool I ever used. She took her book and we worked on it a little bit. She wasn't one of my students actually, but we talked a lot, and I gave her some tips and different things. So she took her book and she said, what do I do with it now? So I did a case study on Karen's town. She lives in St. Paul, Minnesota, I believe, or Minneapolis. She lives somewhere up there in Minnesota.
So somewhere.
We don't know where that is in Louisiana. So, but I triangle. I didn't circle. I don't know why I didn't circle her place, but I put a triangle around it because I'm weird. But I wrote down every business that she could serve with her book within a 75-mile radius. And you know what she did? She took that information and she took action on it, because it doesn't matter how many books you have or how many courses you buy, because I've bought a lot of online courses. If you never take any action, at some point you got to stop learning and start doing. So Karen started doing. She took some imperfect action. I think I've heard somebody say that before. She took some imperfect action. She took that book and she gave it to somebody who had had a stroke. Yeah. She did not know this person. So the guy reads her book and he hasn't gotten the best care and he still has some deficits. He says, I think Karen can help me. So what does he do? He buys a $1,000 package for physical therapy to do a wellness program with her.
Wow. And
then guess what? After 6 visits, he buys another $1,000 package. And then guess what? Because Karen loves people. She's great at what she does. And she served the crap out of this guy. He bought another $1,000 package. And I have no doubt that he's going to. So Karen has made $3,000 off of one person with one book. $3,000
and served him at a ridiculous level, knowing Karen with that kind of commitment from someone.
Wow. And so Karen, I've already said we started a course together and we did our first live training this week. And she, like, I thought I was teaching. No, she like
no.
Like, she's amazing. Like, she serves it.
Karen Malone, everyone. Someone tag Karen in this. Karen Malone is an absolute. She's a business beast. And she is just rising up so much. It's so cool to see.
Too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she
absolutely.
is.
All right, perfect. So that was number 6. Wellness programs or whatever. That was number 6. This is number 7. Alex, you ready for this?
I'm strapped in.
Good. I don't have a number 7. I'm just kidding. So number 7 is quizzes. Google quizzes.
Dude, this is such a good list.
Listen, I just thought of this tonight while you were talking. Quizzes.
You're welcome.
Seriously, I'm just kidding. I just thought about this before we came on live. So we had this book, and so they're going to tell you a story because I like stories, and that's what I like about Russell Brunson and Greg Todd and some of these guys and Alex. So we all tell good stories. I was in school. I was in Louisiana. I went to Louisiana Tech University, right here, Louisiana Tech University, and so went to Louisiana Tech. Was getting my bachelor's degree in kinesiology. We had a strength and conditioning class. I like the teacher. I think he's a great guy, but I couldn't learn real well from him. And I was probably not really excited about learning anyway at that time in my life. So we got the book, and a strength and conditioning book. I still have it somewhere in my house. It was like the 3rd edition. I think it's on edition 53 now. And I realized that all the tests were coming from the quizzes in the back of the book. And so I made an A on every test after that. But what do we already have? What do we already have that we can make quizzes out of? We have a book. And so if like with Brienne's book, Creating the Business and Life You Desire, well, guess what you can do? You can create quizzes to create the business and life you desire, which I'm pretty sure all 3,200 people in your group want to do, including me and you. And we can say, we can use that as a lead magnet. And I know our friend Buffy, that's how she builds her email list, is with quizzes.
Oh, Buffy kills it.
She runs like a $4 ad a day or something like that. I don't know what she's running, but she's busting her email list every day, and she has amazing emails. So we can use that as quizzes. And so we can use that as quizzes to build a lead magnet, to be a lead magnet. We can also use that as quizzes for our courses. We're just talking about adding value. And so we're doing like a value stack. We're doing stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks. And so like if we have a free book and we have a course and 3 mini courses and we have a journal and a workbook and we have podcast episodes, we're podcast guest hosting, we get on the radio, we can reach out to people in the community who would have never given us a second of their time because we handed them a business card. They would have just thrown it in the trash. As soon as you turn around, but you say, I'm bringing you a present, which is what Karen Malone did. Bringing you a present. It's my book. I'd love for you to see it. It's my new book. What? Yeah, you've got it. And we have quizzes. And guys, you took your book. This is literally a 50-page book. Sorry, 81-page book. It's 81 pages that Brianne has. And you can turn it into 7 different avenues to grow your business. And every one of these things can bring you money. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Dude, this was really, really eye-opening. Dude, the quizzes thing, you just got my brain on fire with that. Like I see so many, I love quizzes. I love the psychology of quizzes. Man, we gotta talk to people in your course about making that happen. That Will actually is the guy who you need to talk to about making that happen. Will's done a lot with quizzes. I just like to think about him. Will's done a lot with them.
Yeah, Will's done something for me.
What a list. Okay, to recap, 7 different ways to blow up your business using a book. You've got free plus shipping offers. You've got creating a course or mini course from it, making journals or workbooks, podcast episodes from it, or having something to celebrate to go on other people's podcasts, go on the radio, give people free downloads, or promoting the book, wellness programs off of the book, and creating quizzes from the content of the book. Dude, you just gave, I know how I'm going to promote my new course. Like it's absolutely got to be it's a financial course, right? I'm going to create like a business finance help quiz, and I got to write another book then. Oh, there's some work to be put in, man. All right. If I want to know how to write and self-publish said book, because you've told me great things, and I'm like, yes, Jeremy, but how do I do it? It seems overwhelming. Who am I to do this? I don't have time. I don't have resources to do it. It's probably really expensive. What are you teaching us tomorrow?
Oh man, tomorrow are going to be the 5 easy steps to write and self-publish your book in 90 days, 10 minutes a day, even if you have no time, no topic, or no talent, which I have none of talent. So guys, listen, I'm going to be talking about that tonight. I'm going to be teaching for hopefully about an hour, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more. I think I was on slide 3 at 45 minutes into it last time, and I bumped it up, and in the next 15 minutes went through 70 more slides. So I've got some revamping to do on it tonight, but I'm going to be talking about that. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that Alex and I talked about. But basically what I'm doing tomorrow is I'm not doing one of these webinars where I do a bait and switch, where I bait you into watching and I tell you almost everything you need to know and leave out the final steps, because there's nothing worse than that. What I'm going to be teaching is how to publish a book, 5 easy steps. Most of it, all of it's free. Everything I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night is free to do. But tomorrow lays the framework for you to write your book, and it really can be done in 3 months. Corey and JoJo Rankin have written 5 books since September.
I know they're killing it. Totally.
And they have one more coming out Friday. Wow. Some of those books they wrote in a week because of the templates that we were able to give them. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be teaching you how to do this because I love talking about it and I'm passionate about it. And I seem to be not too bad at helping people. So I might as well do it. I might as well serve you guys. So that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going into in depth. I'm going to be sharing stories of David Bailiff and Karen Malone and Angela Bender, who's one of my OT students that she not only went to #1 bestseller, #1 new release, but she got #1 bestseller in all of occupational therapy on Amazon. I've got a picture of it. I'll show you tomorrow so we can prove it, because I'm all about proving things, not just talking about them. So that's what I want you to do. And now she can call herself a best-selling author. I'm a best-selling author. I have a book that's still #1 in chronic pain or pain management. I can't remember. It's Neck Pain Solutions book that I co-wrote with Mark Green. So we're going to do that. I want to teach you how to do that. I want to teach you how to build authority, because now I've been asked to speak at 2 physical therapy conferences and on 2 online summits. And I'm just going to keep doing that and keep leveraging my book. And I haven't even written a book on self-publishing yet. Stay tuned for that. But I want you to be able to leverage your book into multiple income streams. There's actually 18 income streams you can talk about and you can do in your book. And I talk about that in my course. I have a whole module about that. Yeah. We talk about the perfect launch sequence of how to launch your book to a #1 bestseller. Cool. Costs less than $100. I did it with a book for less than $100. So guys, I'm going to be talking about all that stuff in my course. And I would love to have you come join me on the webinar. Please put fry sauce in the comments and I'll send you the link. I think
put it in right now. I want me that fry sauce.
Put fry sauce right now. You can even put ketchup if you want to, because I like ketchup better. No, put fry sauce. Do fry sauce. All that is Alex and Gar put fry sauce. But we're going to be doing that tomorrow night, guys. So 9 p.m. Eastern over on Zoom. So you got to sign up, and it's going to be awesome. Last time I had a lot of fun. We had a lot of people on, had a lot of questions, and I'll be answering. You can ask any question you want. I don't need a script. So I'll be going in on this for as long as we need to. And just, guys, literally, I just want you to be amazing and sell your book and grow your business and just be the best version of yourself.
Dude, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. This was good stuff. By the way, hopefully there was a lot of this that I've never heard before. There's a bunch of these ideas that never crossed my mind, and I think about marketing all day long. Jeremy, thank you. Hopefully this was useful for you, man. Did you pull out some good new stuff? This has got to be a checklist or something that you put somewhere.
Hey, I just want to say Fernando just put fry sausage in the comments, and I'll take fry sausage all day. Oh man, Fernando, that's awesome. No, look,
Fernando, I love you, man.
Dude, I seriously I've never even thought about the quizzes until we started talking tonight.
Well, you're welcome, man. Dude, I have this weird thing where I've done this for Christine Walker too. I've done this for a bunch of people where like we'll sit here and talk about things. And sorry, I like to challenge you at the beginning, right? Like I was like, Jeremy, we got to come up with a list of 5, like sell me on this, which by the way, you totally sold me. And now I'm like, man, now my objection is how am I going to fit in the time to do this? And it's just I got to prioritize things and make a plan because I've got to write like 2 books this year now.
Yeah, just send it to me and I'll write it for you.
Oof. Okay, man. I love you, dude. Thank you so much. Comment fry sauce below if you want to be here tomorrow. The man, everyone, just say thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy took a lot of time tonight to away from his family to do this for us and drop some good stuff. By the way, Jeremy, this is going in our podcast. This was like high quality stuff right here. So with your permission, we'll put it on the podcast. If you're watching or listening on the podcast, you're like, where do I find you, Jeremy? Where does one find you?
Book Boss Tribe on Facebook. You can find me there, or you can go to healthybooks.net and find me there.
Healthybooks.net or in your tribe. Love it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.